There was a knife, it was a corkscrew, it was a glass bottle, it was a candle, and it was a cigar on the tray. And I remember all of them had to stick it in me. And I will never forget how Bill Cosby lit the cigar and put it out on my vagina. I remember I was in pain, so my whole body hurt. So I didn't know the difference. They did operations to remove something out of me. I felt the same way I felt before they did the operation. I remember him showing me the video, and I'm like, that's not me. And it looked like they pulled up fucking intestines out of me. And it was that pink dildo shit all on it. And he was like, I was like, that's not, I was like, ew, what is that? I was horrified. And he was like, this is you. Who did this to you? And I went on and told him the truth. You know, Diddy did this.
So what if I told you that several of these P. Diddy allegations by these alleged P. Diddy victims are not only lying to us, but what if I told you that P. Diddy was in on it? You wouldn't believe me. But I promise you, by the end of this video, you will.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.
So this video, or the next upload on this channel, was supposed to be me reacting to this interview that this young lady gave on another YouTube channel called The Lionel B Show, where she goes, I would say this is the biggest interview of the year as it pertains to the P. Diddy allegations. I throw no shade, no hate. I give credit where it's due. Kudos to that dude for getting the interview, because this is the most groundbreaking interview. Do y'all remember this photo right here of this young lady sitting on P. Diddy's lap? Well, the lady who is a young girl in this photo is now an adult woman, and she gave an interview on a YouTube channel where she details everything that happened to her that night and happened to her many other nights by not only P. Diddy, but she talked about J-Lo's or Jennifer Lopez involvement. She talked about Bill Cosby. She talked about all sorts of people.
There was a knife, it was a corkscrew, it was a glass bottle, it was a candle, and it was a cigar on the tray. And I remember all of them had to stick it in me. And I will never forget how Bill Cosby lit the cigar and put it out on my vagina. I remember I was in pain, so my whole body hurt. So I didn't know the difference. They did operations to remove something out of me. I felt the same way I felt before they did the operation. I remember him showing me the video, and I'm like, that's not me. And it looked like they pulled up fucking intestines out of me. And it was that pink dildo shit all on it. And he was like, I was like, that's not, I was like, ew, what is that? I was horrified. And he was like, this is you. Who did this to you? And I went on and told him the truth. You know, Diddy did this. I remember trying to escape. I remember the brown children. I remember being locked in a cage with these brown kids. I don't know what race they were, but I know they looked at black, but they didn't speak English.
How many kids would you say was in there with you?
Had to be like 30 or 50 kids, but it kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller because they were hunting these babies. It got to like, it was like until I noticed it, I was just in the cage. But before they like took me out the cage and put me back in the cage, they had me these babies with them. I remember them drugging me so much, and they wanted me to feel the pain, and they had my hand over the stove. I remember waking up screaming. This was a fat white guy. He kind of hunchback, got a pointy nose. This fat white guy, he was just passing me to different white men, and to a point they all started looking the same to me. I remember them having to sew me up and reconstruct my stuff down there. I didn't go straight home. He said, I can't send her home like this. I look in the mirror and I see P. Diddy behind me. And I know when I was in the room, he took my vagina on that bed. And I remember screaming and hurting, but I had to take it. But then after that, I remember I just woke up again. I'm in the bathroom, bent over the sink. And I'm yelling, but I guess I'm not making noise. I don't know. But I'm yelling, it hurt, please stop. I'm weak, I can't move. And he's giving me or whatever. He turned me around, kissed me in my mouth. And like, I'm not gonna hurt you. But he was hurting me. And he turned me back over. And when he stuck it in he told me pinch his nipples and all type of crazy shit. He kissed me in my mouth. And he turned me back over, and I passed out again when he stuck it in my ass. And the pain stopped. And then I was relieved. And then I felt the pain again. And when I woke up, it was Pierre Harvey behind me. And he stuck it in my face. And I remember looking and yelling, no, stop. But then I remember looking to my left, and P. Diddy's in the doorway with like one of them old school cameras. And he's sitting there jacking off and sitting in a chair in the doorway of the restroom. I remember passing out, waking back up, being over the sink, and this sticking a champagne bottle in I was like yelling. At that point, I know I was yelling at the top of my lungs. And they just had me so hurt. They left me in their restroom. And I don't know how long I was in their restroom, but my legs and stuff wouldn't work. And some white guy came and got me out the restroom.
And I would have reacted to that interview within hours of it being released, but the dude Lionel put at the very beginning of his video that he's going to issue out copyright strikes to anybody who chooses to react to that video, which is very suspicious to me. I don't know why you would do that, bro. You're doing like 500,000 views in one day alone. So you're making tens of thousands of dollars from your YouTube channel. I don't know why it matters to you. But now that I've seen this video, it does make more sense why you would do something like that. And you all are going to understand here in a sec. When I was watching this interview, I will say, I'm not going to lie and say that I didn't believe her. But I was thinking to myself throughout this interview, why would she come on a YouTube channel and say these things for the first time? Sure, a lot of people can say whatever they want. A lot of people can do whatever they want. Some people choose to go to YouTube or social media first. But I mean, when you see all these, you see people like Cassie getting settlements and you see all these other lawsuits, you could get rich off of this. And let's say it's not about the money. But if anything, you want to make sure that this dude stay in jail for the rest of his life. What service or what benefit does it do you to go to a YouTube channel first? It's a bit suspicious to me. Doesn't invalidate her story or mean that her story is not real, because she said a lot of crazy things in this interview. But it does make me side-eyed it a little bit, especially when the same YouTuber is seeming to get all of these same P. Diddy victims on his channel. Like, why are you the sole person that gets these interviews? How are you getting these interviews? Once again, once I saw her son's video, this dude right here named his son. Once I saw his video, it made more sense. You all, when I tell you that there's a strong chance that we're being lied to, in hopes that it's going to help P. Diddy in the end, you probably wouldn't believe me. This dude right here is Hassan Campbell. If you don't know who he is, he's a YouTuber. But not only is he a YouTuber, unfortunately, he's also a victim himself of SA. He was SA'd not just by anybody, but he was SA'd by this dude named African Bambaataa, who is the grandfather of hip-hop. Yes, you heard me correctly. If you don't know who he is, you should really look into his story. It's very, very sad, but he's made, what is it? You make lemonade out of lemons. He's living a beautiful life now. What you're about to hear him say holds far more weight and far more credibility. Because he's a victim doesn't mean that he has magic powers or superpowers to be able to see through people, but he do know what to look for. He do know some of the signs to look for that some of us who have not been the victim of SA don't really know what to look for necessarily. What he said, I never considered this. I never thought about it. And this is the most critical thing. So Hassan Campbell, I'll give you credit, brother. I'll link your video, the link to your full video in the description of this video. But I want to say this is the most critically thinking, the most complex, and the most strategic video I've seen as it pertains to what P. Diddy could be doing and the role that these other people could be playing in pretending like they're victims of Diddy's. Not saying that this woman in particular is or isn't. I'll leave that to you all to be the judge, but this video was powerful, and by the end of this video, it's going to be very difficult to refute anything that he says in this video, y'all. So without further ado, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for being here. Let's see what he's talking about.
So, some of y'all know my story. Some of y'all don't know my story. For those of y'all that do know my story, and my situation with Africa Bambaataa, the godfather of hip-hop, I see a lot of similarities. I see warning signs. Matter of fact, let me just get straight to the point. In this situation with Diddy, right? I want to point something out that I see. I was listening, and I don't want to come off as if I'm trying to discredit witnesses, but the truth is the truth. And I'm going to tell y'all right now,
okay,
in this Diddy situation, I watched the video, right, of a young lady describing what Diddy did to her at a party, her being put on a private jet, and some of the things that this girl was saying, I could see through the lies. As a matter of fact, not only was the girl lying, but she incorporated scenes from movies in her story. And it was like, are you kidding me? If you really, really listen to her, you got to get past the, oh, I'm sorry this happened to you. And you got to get to, Let's get to the critical thinking, and I'm going to tell you why. In my situation with Africa Bambaataa, right? From the beginning, I was calling out Ron Savage, a.k.a. Beast Stinger. I was calling him out and telling people, something just ain't right. I even told him, I said, yo, I named him Kaiser Sauce. He got up on the internet, all over newspapers, crying, boo-hooing. He hurt me. He did this to me. He hurt me. He did this to me. Only for years later, for him to pop up outside of the park with Africa Bambaataa and all over the internet telling everybody it was the whole story was a lie. It was a misunderstanding. And see, what I need for y'all to understand is that sometimes people will send out decoys, right? People will send out decoys. And a person will sit up there and make up a lie. Even though the allegations for other survivors was true, when you find one person that's discredited and find that they told lies, now you're looking at everybody else sideways.
That's facts. I never considered that. And a lot of you all started following me because of Allie Carter. Do y'all remember what Allie Carter said?
I was a party favor.
What does that mean?
I was a party favor. I was somebody you could take off the table.
So you're telling me they set children
I set children
on a table, like when you go to a birthday party and they have gift bags for everybody that comes that have candy and toys in them,
Yep.
and they set them on the table. So you're telling me at the freak off parties, they put children on the table instead of gift bags, and then people can do what?
Take you off the table and have sex with you, even though it's against the rules to do certain things like anal sex or full house sex. Sometimes that's against the rules. Like for me, that was against the rules, but that didn't matter.
She talked about party favors, about being a party favor. Well, this girl that he's referencing said a lot of the same stuff. She said that she was a party favor, and it just makes me wonder, was she really there with Allie Carter, or did she see Allie Carter's story and she's trying to put herself, or she was told by somebody to put herself in that same situation so that she can later be proven to be lying about it, so that it can also invalidate Allie Carter and these other victim stories. That's what it really makes me think about. I'm telling y'all, something ain't right, bro. Something is a bit strange when you go to this dude's channel. I'm not saying that he's in on it, but when you go to his channel and you see Audria English, whatever her name is, I've already reacted to her interview on this channel as well. Audria English, who was apparently a go-go dancer at one of P. Diddy's parties. This girl, this one who's a woman now, who was apparently a victim of Diddy, the person that's sitting in his lap in this photo right here, is apparently Audria English's niece. So I guess that's the link, and that's how he was able to get both interviews. But when you go to Audria as a content creator, and people who have interviewed victims and interviewed other celebrities and things of that sort on this channel before, when you go to her Instagram channel, I know how it works from a business perspective. So when I go to her Instagram and I'm looking to reach out to her, she's not responding to DMs. Not only is she not responding to business inquiries, I'm trying to pay you money to come on my channel so I can interview you. Not only is she not responding to money offers for interviews, but in her bio, it quite literally says, reach out to this dude who has the YouTube channel, who featured this interview and featured her interview as well, reaching out to him to consult on behalf of her for interviews. That's weird as heck to me. Why is that? So let me get this straight. He's dropping interviews that he's threatening to issue copyright strikes to other people if they dropped or react to the interviews from his channel. And then the people that come onto his channel to interview him, you're not allowed to talk to them unless you go through him. That's weird to me, because it makes me question your motives. What are you really interviewing them for? Do you really care about their story? Is the story even real? Or is it only meant for you to drop the interview, only meant for you to drop the story for other reasons, for ulterior motives? And it adds credibility to what Hassan Campbell is saying, y'all. I'm telling you, because something isn't right here. Again, we don't do victim shaming and victim blaming over here. Y'all know I support a lot of these folks if I believe them. Look at all the Ali Carter videos. That's the reason why a lot of my channel has blown up a little bit recently, because of my Ali Carter videos. I support stuff that it seems credible, but something is fishy about this.
This is the game that they play. When I think back and when I go through memory lane, and I'm sitting up there watching the other dude that came out on Africa Bambaataa, he's marching with the Zulu Nation. And I'm sitting up there saying to myself, you marching with Africa Bambaataa's army? Huh? I saw through it. Then I sit back and y'all analyze. I want y'all to analyze something. Some of the same people that came out that act like they was on my side and speaking out against Africa Bambaataa to protect me is back bigging him up like nothing never happened. Because sometimes people will camouflage themselves like they on your side. They chameleons. They'll fight and act like they fighting for you and act like they turning on Africa Bambaataa, because that's what they did, all to get close to me. Now, if you can't get close to a person, you can't do nothing to them. But if you could get up on them, then you can make things happen. And in this situation right here with Diddy, what I'm seeing is that what I'm hearing, like, listen, man, I don't never want to come off like I'm trying to get Diddy off the hook. But the allegations that young lady was saying, she's lying. And y'all got to go back and listen to that video again. She's lying. Listen to what she's saying. Listen to her timelines. Listen to what she's saying. The things that happened. She literally was given scenes from the movie. She was given scenes from the movie. What's the movie?
Blink
The
Twice?
movie Blink Twice. And I'm like, yo, y'all can't see this? Where's the police reports at? If you went to the precinct, where is the police reports at? I don't like to shame a victim. I don't never want to do that. I don't never want to look like that. But I want y'all to see through what's really, really going on. Because if you can create enough false witnesses in this Diddy case, then you can make the judge and the jury look at the rest of the victims like, y'all not really victims. I don't believe this. There are real victims out there, allegedly. I believe there's a lot of victims out there, allegedly. But I also believe that there's booby traps being set in this case. And y'all got to start paying attention. Because if there's somebody out there that was really hurt by Diddy, that Diddy did wrong, then we need to focus on those people and narrow out the plants that they put there. Because once you make one person look questionable, you made the whole story look questionable. And see, what I'm going to tell y'all about going to trial, right? The jury or the judge is going to instruct you at trial. And the judge is going to say, if you convict this person, you have to convict them without a shadow of a doubt. The judge is going to tell you, if there is a mustard grain seed, which means this much, this tiny, if you have that much doubt, just that much doubt right there, you have to acquit and find Diddy not guilty. Just a mustard grain seed of doubt. All you need to do that is to find a liar. If one person's lying, what makes you think the rest of them ain't lying just to get a $30 million paycheck? Because the narrative have already been set. And once everybody's seen Diddy gave out $30 million to one person, everybody else start coming to collect. That's my take on the situation. I stand with any survivors out there, but I'm going to keep it all the way funky. That video that I watched on that other dude's channel with that young lady with the allegations against Diddy, I don't believe them. She's lying.
That is so deep. I never considered that, bro. Like, that's really like, I only watched like half of this video before I decided to hop on the channel and react to it, but I never thought about it like that. And I'm curious what you all think. Like, the last two things I'll say is, I've heard a couple of videos where Diddy was talking to his children from jail, and he just seemed high in spirit. And there's reports coming out saying how he's running the jail, and he just don't seem stressed. He was singing his baby girl happy birthday, and you can say he's pretending or it's a facade, but he just doesn't seem stressed. And I wonder if it's because they got a plan in motion. I wonder if they working their magic out here and they know they infiltrating the story, bro. And the last thing I'll say is I don't want to make it so absurd that it's unbelievable for you all to grasp this concept. But I mean, what, 4 months ago, you couldn't make a video about Diddy and go viral, bro. I've made like 5 videos, 6, 7, 8 videos on this channel over the past 2 months and got more views on those videos than I've gotten on most of my videos on my channel. So it seems like now in the algorithm, everything's about Diddy. It almost seems like it's helping corroborate so they can lift this and build this story up so that when the court day comes, they can prove a lot of these people to be false when the people that they're proving to be false was in on it with Diddy from the jump. I'm just afraid that that's really what's happening, man. Y'all hop in the comment section. Y'all give me y'all thoughts. I really hope this dude don't get off if he's guilty for the things that he's been accused of. But I gotta agree with a son here, bro. Something not right. I'm Demetrius, man. I go by Diddy. Hop in the comment section. That's all for this one. Until next time. Peace.
Oh, yeah, Diddy got a podcast.